Are you ready for UFC 299 this weekend? Well, I got some exciting news for you UFC fans. I have teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook to bring you the ultimate fight night experience. Imagine this, you're a new customer to DraftKings, you place an initial wager, and if that bet doesn't hit, no sweat. You will get a bonus bet back in the amount of your original bet up to $1,000. Just download the DraftKings app. Make sure you sign up using my promo code Sonnen. The crown is yours. And DraftKings has got something for the existing customers as well. All customers get SGP insurance every day. Get a bonus bet back in the amount of your initial bet if one leg of your SGP loses. Minimum number of legs required and maximum bet varies. If sportsbook betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. Download the DraftKings app right now. New customers, use my promo code Sonnen and get a no sweat bet. That's promo code Sonnen only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Who is the best 135 pounder in the world? I think you'd have a hard time answering that question. Right. Now, I get in any weight class, there's a reason we got to go out there and do the fight. There's a reason we got to have the match. But if there's any division that appears to be ultra competitive and ultra competitive and compelling right now, it's 135 pounds. The biggest star has got the belt. The biggest star with an absolutely beautiful record, a great ranking. Oh, and by the way, 12-pound gold belt that he got the hard way by going through Aljamain Sterling, has got the belt. But Chito Vera's got a win over him. Just for example. Now, Chito Vera, who's got a win over O'Malley, doesn't come into the contest undefeated. In fact, there's nobody in the division that's undefeated except for Nurmagomedov, who's ranked number 13. Then you've got Sterling, which is going to be a pain in anybody's ass, but he appears to be at 145 pounds right now. You have Henry Cejudo, who for sure can beat anybody alive, for sure. But at one point he told us he was retired. At another point he told us he was going to 125 pounds. So I'm sharing that it's a very complicated question when I ask you, not just who the best is, right? I get that that's subjective. That's not something we know. If I ask you, who do you think is the best? You. What is your opinion? You're going to be torn. You're going to have a hard time answering that. You're going to hem and haw and go back and forth. And how disrespectful I've got as far as I have in this, and I haven't even mentioned Sandhagen, who's great. Yeah, Petr Yan did a press conference today. Petr Yan is as difficult of a fight as I can think of in the UFC, not just at 135 pounds. Like his skills, his stand-up ability, his endurance, and his nearly impeccable defense to wrestling, he is as hard of a fight as I can think of. He did a press conference today, and he said that the only reason Sean O'Malley is fighting Chito Vera is because Chito is the only top-ranked guy that O'Malley feels he can beat. Now, that isn't an accurate statement. It's not an accurate statement because O'Malley's already beaten top guys. O'Malley's already beaten Aljo. O'Malley's already beaten Yan. O'Malley did not beat Vera at the time that they fought, right? Like, I mean, it's not a wholly accurate statement, but it doesn't have to be. It's right. It's not like he's under oath. He's sharing his opinion as, but I'm talking about Yan right now. Yan is sharing his opinion as a competitor, and he's following the golden rule in life, which is to put himself in somebody else's shoes and think about what he would do. So he's revealing to us if he was in that spot and he had the skills of O'Malley, he feels the most winnable match is Vera. Okay, great. I mean, that's very telling, right? Like if there's anybody that's gonna know, like if there's any pool or body that we could turn to, we're gonna handicap this fight, right? We're gonna go up to the pay window with our hard-earned money, and we get one group's opinion. It's not going to be the pundits. It's not going to be the promoters. It's going to be the division. If you could get a handful of fellow 135 pounders that all they do is eat, breathe, sleep, watch tape, study this, think about different matchups, and get their opinions. It's very fascinating. SureDog started doing this. SureDog was the first. It was many years ago. And before big fights, they would just ask fellow fighters, didn't have to be in the division, but fellow fighters, what you think about the fight. And it was just a compelling perspective. And it was also ultra accurate. All you had to do is be able to see through when a guy is referencing a friend or a teammate and just refuses to answer the question honest and insists on putting one guy over. As long as you could see through that and get an actual analysis, you'd have done pretty well if you were betting on these fights. I mean, you'd have done pretty well. So when Petr Yan talks about this, I just want to retell you what he said. He said that O'Malley, he's agreed to fight Vera because Vera's the one guy that O'Malley knows he can beat. So what Yan is saying by proxy is that he believes O'Malley is going to win the fight. And as these guys are getting closer, right, as this fight is actually coming, my prediction is coming tomorrow. Let me save that thought. But I don't put that off so that you guys beg me, oh, Chael, come on, who you putting the curse on this time? I say it because I'm not there yet. There's a rumor going around about O'Malley in a training camp and it not being well. Now, the question is, what does that mean? How would you have that info and where did that come from? Aljo's the one that said it, but where did that come from? And O'Malley having a bad training camp, let's just say that's true. It doesn't necessarily impact the fight, right? I mean, what's a training camp? It's 8 weeks, it's 10 weeks, it's 12 weeks. Like, what's a training camp? What do you mean it was bad? O'Malley couldn't go through part of his training camp, just to remind you, before his 5-round title fight with Aljo. He hid an injury that prevented him from completing workouts and doing any kind of grappling and or competitive sparring. And he went out there, and it turned out a byproduct of that injury was rest and recovery, and he was ultimately at his best. COVID hit, shut down Max Holloway's ability to get to a gym, so Max trained alone, no partners and no coaches, in his garage. And I had never seen Max look as good as when he came out of that environment. So I am looking into this O'Malley thing. I am looking into this training camp, what Aljo was referencing, if there's something going on behind the scenes. But that's just to come and share it with you guys for gossip's sake. To act as though it's going to impact the fight, I don't know if I'm willing to go that far. My official prediction will be coming tomorrow.